Ever wondered why the tomatoes from your backyard never taste as juicy as the ones from the supermarket? Well, let's unravel the secret. Tomatoes are a crowd favorite, adored for their vibrant colors, juicy texture, and a flavor spectrum that dances between sweet and tangy. They're a nutritional powerhouse too, packed with vitamins A and C and lycopene, a potent antioxidant. But growing them at home can be a bit of a challenge. From selecting the right variety and coaxing the seeds to germinate to battling pests and diseases, it's a journey that requires knowledge, patience, and a green thumb. Yet, biting into a sun-ripened tomato you've nurtured from seed to harvest is a joy unparalleled. It's not just about the taste. It's about the satisfaction of creating something beautiful and nourishing from a tiny seed. Growing tomatoes at home is not only rewarding but also a step towards healthy and sustainable living. Not all tomatoes are created equal. Some are juicier, some are sweeter, and some are just perfect for your backyard. When it comes to choosing tomato varieties, the world is your oyster. Or should we say your tomato basket. You can choose between heirloom or hybrid varieties. Heirlooms are traditional varieties passed down through generations. They are often celebrated for their unique flavors, colors, and shapes. However, they might be a bit more susceptible to diseases. On the other hand, hybrids are crossbred for specific characteristics like disease resistance or yield size. They can be a bit more reliable, but sometimes at the cost of flavor. Now, if you're in search of the juiciest tomatoes, you might want to turn your attention to varieties such as beefsteak, Cherokee purple, or brandywine. These types are renowned for their flavor and size, making them perfect for your tomato growing adventure. Choosing the right variety is the first step towards growing juicy tomatoes in your backyard. Getting your seeds to sprout is like watching a magic show unfold right before your eyes. Now let's delve into the art of seed starting. It all begins indoors, before the last frost of the year. Start by filling a seed tray or small pots with a seed starting mix. Plant your tomato seeds 1/4 inch deep, as they need light to germinate. Next, maintain a warm environment, ideally between 75 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. This encourages quicker germination. Once your seeds sprout, they'll need plenty of light. A sunny window can work, but a grow light is often better to prevent the seedlings from becoming leggy. Now let's talk about seedling spacing. When your seedlings have grown their first true leaves, it's time to transplant them. Each seedling should have its own pot or space in a larger tray, at least 2 inches apart. This gives them room to grow without competition. Proper seed starting sets the foundation for a healthy and productive tomato plant. Did you know that the soil in your garden holds the key to your tomato plant's health and productivity? That's right. Like a 5-star chef, your garden soil concocts a gourmet feast for your tomatoes, rich in nutrients and essential minerals. Your soil should be a well-draining type, a mix of sand, silt, and clay, commonly known as loamy soil. This type of soil holds water but also allows excess water to drain away, preventing root rot. Now let's talk about the main course of this gourmet feast: organic matter. Compost, well-rotted manure, or leaf mold can be mixed into your garden soil. These materials not only improve the soil structure but also provide a slow-release source of nutrients that your tomato plants will love. And lastly, the dessert: an organic fertilizer. Tomatoes are heavy feeders and benefit from added nutrients, especially phosphorus, which promotes flowering and fruiting. A balanced organic fertilizer can provide this. Good soil nutrition is the secret recipe for growing juicy tomatoes. Sunlight and water, the two life forces that your tomato plants cannot live without. Now let's delve into why these elements are so crucial. Sunlight, the magic ingredient for photosynthesis, is key to your tomatoes' growth. These sun-loving plants thrive with at least 6 to 8 hours of full sun exposure each day. Too little, and your tomatoes may struggle to mature, resulting in smaller, less juicy fruits. Now, water. It's a lifeline, but it can also be a death sentence if not managed correctly. Too little water and your plants will wilt, but too much, and you risk diseases like blossom end rot or fruit splitting. So how do you strike a balance? Watering deeply and directly at the soil level is the way to go. Aim for a consistent moisture level, avoiding the cycle of drought and deluge. Remember, it's better to water thoroughly less frequently than lightly more often. Balancing sunlight and watering is crucial to avoid common tomato growing issues. Ready to discover the secret behind growing the juiciest tomatoes in your backyard? Now let's delve into the nitty-gritty of these hush-hush tips that can transform your tomatoes into mouth-watering delights. Remember the simple household ingredient we hinted at earlier? It's Epsom salt. This humble compound is a powerhouse of magnesium, a nutrient that tomatoes absolutely adore. Sprinkle a tablespoon of Epsom salt around the base of your tomato plants every 2 weeks. The magnesium boost will enhance the flavor and growth of your tomatoes, giving you that juicy bite you're after. Next up, mulching. This is a champion move in the tomato growing game. Mulching around your tomato plants helps retain moisture, regulate soil temperature, and even suppress weeds. Organic materials like straw, grass clippings, or compost make excellent mulch. Not only will this keep your plants hydrated, but it will also prevent the soil from splashing onto the leaves, a common cause of disease. But here's the real kicker: pruning. Pruning your tomato plants might seem counterintuitive, but it's a secret weapon for growing the juiciest tomatoes. By removing the lower leaves and maintaining only 1 or 2 main stems, you allow more sunlight to reach the fruits and improve air circulation within the plant. This means less disease and more energy directed towards growing bigger, juicier tomatoes. And don't worry about hurting your plants. Tomatoes are resilient creatures. A little pruning here and there won't harm them. In fact, it will make them stronger and more productive. So get out those pruning shears and show your tomato plants some tough love. These secret tips might not be rocket science, but they can sure make a world of difference in your tomato garden. Epsom salt for a nutrient boost, mulching for moisture retention, and pruning for healthier, more productive plants. With these secret tips, you're well on your way to growing the juiciest tomatoes. So get started, and let's turn your backyard into a tomato paradise. A gardener's worst nightmare: pests and diseases, but don't worry, we've got you covered. Identifying pests early is key to maintaining a healthy tomato garden. Common culprits include aphids, tiny insects that suck the life out of your plants, and tomato hornworms, large caterpillars that can devastate your tomato crop overnight. To combat these, consider introducing beneficial insects like ladybugs and praying mantises that naturally prey on these pests. Also, a simple homemade spray of water and mild soap can deter many small pests. Diseases are another concern. Fungal diseases like blight and powdery mildew can spread rapidly, causing wilting, yellowing, and even death of plants. Prevention is better than cure here. Rotate your crops, avoid overhead watering, and ensure good air circulation to prevent these diseases. Remember, using resistant varieties and practicing good sanitation can also significantly reduce disease problems. Effective pest and disease management ensures a healthy and productive tomato harvest. The moment of truth has arrived. It's time to harvest and taste your juicy tomatoes. Knowing when to harvest is essential. A ripe tomato will be firm yet will yield slightly to a gentle squeeze. It will have a deep, even color and a sweet, earthy smell. But remember, each variety may have different indications of ripeness. Now let's talk about storage. The way you store your tomatoes can significantly impact their taste and texture. As a rule of thumb, never store fresh tomatoes in the refrigerator. The cold temperature turns the tomato's flesh mealy and ruins its flavor. Instead, keep them at room temperature, away from direct sunlight until you're ready to use them. If you've harvested a lot of tomatoes and can't consume them all, consider preserving methods like canning or drying. Proper harvesting and storage techniques will ensure you enjoy the fruits of your labor to the fullest. Growing juicy tomatoes in your backyard is no longer a dream, but a reality you can achieve. Let's quickly recap on what we've learned today. We've explored the world of tomato gardening, from choosing the right variety for juicy fruits to the art of seed starting. We've delved into soil preparation and nutrition, along with sunlight and watering essentials, to ensure your tomatoes have the best start in life. We've also revealed secrets to growing mouth-watering tomatoes, like using Epsom salt and the benefits of mulching. And we've tackled pest and disease management to keep those pesky bugs at bay. Finally, we've covered when and how to harvest and store your tomatoes to enjoy their fresh, vibrant flavor. Take these tips, apply them to your garden, and watch as your tomatoes thrive. Remember, the secret to juicy tomatoes is in your hands. Now go forth and grow.